Hi, everybody. In this video, I would like to review the new configure options they added to the Behavior Insight feature in Codio. Now, if you're not using Behavior Insights, it's a great feature that Codio has built into the IDE, which allows you to detect potential plagiarism in your students' coding. Now, in order to turn this feature on, if you've never used it, under basic settings, you'll notice there's a toggle and it says enable behavioral insights. And when you used to turn this on, that would be it. There would just be a green toggle. But now we have all these different options to configure. And that way we can add dimensions and thresholds so that we can personalize this behavior insight feature to our classes. So what I would like to do is just review all the different configure options and then just show you what it looks like and how it works. So as you scroll down, you will notice that you can configure by time spent, rate of edits, coding versus debugging time, insertions versus deletions, and external paste. But the really cool part is now you get to set what that time is or what that rate of edits is. And you get to set the minimum and if you want the maximum. And this is really going to be able to help you because there are some assignments you might want your students to be pasting stuff from external sources. And there's other times you don't want them to do that. So what I first like to do is just explain each feature in a little more detail. And if you click on that little blue icon that says need a little help, it'll take you to Codio's configure behavior insight options page. Now, time spent is exactly what it sounds like, okay? It's going to track the amount of time the student spent working on the assignments in the Codio online IDE, and you can set a minimum or a maximum. Now, the rate of edits, all right? So based on thousands of student submissions, Codio will determine that submissions created with a pace of more than 4 characters edited per second had a high likelihood of being plagiarized. So you can set the minimum value of characters per second, you could set the maximum and be able to determine it that way. Now, another one that I like is coding versus debugging time. Okay, it'll monitor the percentage of time spent that the student spent in an error state or debugging versus a non-error state, coding. Okay, in the context of detecting plagiarism, it would be odd for students to never have errors or spend no time trying to resolve them. So being able to detect that will be able to also detect plagiarism. Now, insertions versus deletions. Okay, we can monitor the percentage of characters inserted versus the characters deleted across an assignment code file for the students. All right, so you can set a minimum, you can set a maximum. All right, and then you'll be able to tell insertions versus deletions. And then the one that most teachers love is external paste. Now you can actually take the external paste feature and set how many lines you're talking about that are pasted and the number of occurrences. So you could see here that once the external paste toggle is turned on, minimum lines to count as an occurrence, 2 is the minimum. Okay, that's the smallest accepted value as far as pasting is concerned. And then the maximum number of occurrences. So this is really good because now Codio is giving you the option to configure all of these features. All right, now, if I actually go and look at a workshop I did and just choose a random assignment that we have our behavior insight feature turned on, you'll notice here as I look through the class, all right, I notice for this assignment that everybody under the behavior insight column has at least something, okay? And it's coding versus debugging time. Okay, apparently for this project, students did not need to do a lot of debugging. All right, so you could see that it might seem a little weird, but at least it's showing me that. Now, I can adjust that feature so it doesn't show up for each. But then you do notice, and this is why I like Behavior Insight feature, that one of the students spent only 4 minutes working on this assignment. Now, another one spent 14 minutes. So it didn't take long to do this assignment, but 4 minutes still seems a little short. And you'll notice this student has 2 dashes. All right. And when we click on there, we can then see in detail what's going on. Okay. And the only one that really raises an eyebrow here would be, to me, the external pastes. Okay. We already know that coding versus debugging time for everybody is kind of nil when it comes to debugging time. Inserts versus deletions, okay, seems to pop up here, but it's this feature that I like. Now, when you're looking at external paste, we can see here that we have one paste of 7 lines, okay? A number of pasted lines here is 4, and this one is 6. And if you actually click on the actual bar graph, you could see what they're cutting and pasting in here. And that'll determine whether this student plagiarized or whether they were just figuring out a different way to do the assignment quicker, or maybe they had done it already and they wanted to redo it for some reason. So this is what we use the behavior insight feature for. Okay. And now Codio has added the ability for you to configure the behavior insight options. All right. I hope you use behavior insights in your classroom. I know that right now, a lot of teachers are dealing with ChatGPT and other AI, which is doing the coding for their students. But remember, there are times where we don't want these AI to be doing the coding, and we want our students to be doing it. So use this feature in Codio in order to help you determine which assignments are plagiarized and which assignments your students are doing correctly. Thanks, everybody.